You're listening to the Daily Sales Tips podcast, and I'm your host, Scott Ingram. Today's tip comes from Darren Mitchell. Darren is the host of the Exceptional Sales Leader podcast. He's committed to developing exceptional sales leaders and teams who drive consistent, sustainable, and predictable results. He mentors and coaches sales leaders one-to-one and facilitates engaging and interactive workshops to unleash the potential of sales leaders and their teams. Here he is.
In today's Daily Sales Tip, let's talk about a topic that is near and dear to most salespeople, and that is sales and the fact that everyone is in sales. Now, what's fascinating with this is I often run workshops with people who are not necessarily in direct sales roles, and yet they don't necessarily understand that they, in fact, are in a sales role themselves. And it's a fascinating conversations around this because many people have a perception of sales and salespeople, and interestingly, most people who are in a sales role absolutely love the role and love the process. But the ones that were not in a sales role often have this perception of sales as being pushy, having to convince customers to buy a product that they don't need. They felt under pressure to always sell stuff, and a belief that you also had to talk a lot. So I love spending time demystifying and dispelling the myths of sales, because here's the thing, every single person is in sales. Everyone. If you are married or in a relationship, at some stage, someone got sold. If you are in a role right now, at some stage, you had to sell. So here's my belief. Sales is the ultimate form of service. It is all about problem solving. Where it becomes challenging, though, is the pressure applied to hit a number or to close a deal. And this is where many people put the stopgap up and say, hey, I don't want to be that salesperson because I don't want to be that pushy person. Well, here's the thing. We need to take pressure off. We need to look for opportunities to instead serve and to add value. So what really is sales? It's about having a conversation. If you can be curious, if you can ask lots of open-ended questions, if you can provide insights and add value to our relationship, actively listen to that person, and in the process, leave them with an impression of increase to the point where they feel better having had a conversation with you. If you also appear as if you're not needy and you're not desperate for a sale, but you're there to actually add value and build a relationship, then sales as a natural consequence will start to roll. Because remember, at its core, sales really is about problem solving. If the customer or prospective customer doesn't have a clearly articulated or clearly understood problem, then guess what? There's not going to be any solution, therefore there won't be a sale. But you can still make a connection and you can still leave that person with an impression of increase, because when there is a problem, guess who the first person they're going to be thinking about when it comes to a solution to that problem? It's going to be you. So remember, sales can be easy. Whether you're selling a product, whether you're selling a service, whether you're selling an idea, or whether you're selling yourself, sales can come down to 3 simple steps. Step number 1, get a lead. All right. That could be a customer who is interested in a product or interested in having a conversation. Step number 2, make an offer. If there is a problem that has been identified through that conversation, then do the right thing and put an offer on the table. And sometimes you might just have to ask them as well, would you like to purchase or would you like to move forward? There's nothing wrong with that. And the third step is follow up. Now, the follow-up could be as simple as asking them again, would they like to purchase? Or a follow-up could be if you've left them with something to think about and they need to consider what the product's going to be and whether that's going to be the right fit for them, then the follow-up might be a day later or a week later, whatever the case might be. But the key thing is to follow up and to close the loop. So remember this, and this is the key message out of today's daily sales tip, that every single person on the planet is in sales. You do not have to have a sales title to be in sales, because we are always selling ourselves and we are always selling an idea. So embrace it, enjoy it, because some amazing things can happen when we embrace the fact that we are in sales. So thanks for listening to today's daily sales tip.
For links to connect with Darren on LinkedIn and to his website, podcast, and more, just click over to DailySales.Tips/1053. Once you've done that, be sure to come back tomorrow for another great sales tip. Thanks for listening.